story goes, baby, now I got the flow. Cause I knew it from the start. Baby, when you broke my heart, that I had to come again and show you that I win. You lied to me. All those times I said that I love you, you lied to me. Yes, I tried. Yes, I tried. You lied to me. Even though you knew I'd die for you, you lied to me. Yes, I cried. Yes, I cried. Return of the man. Return of the man. Come on. Return of the man. Oh my God. You know that I've been there. Here I am. Return of the man. Once again. Return of the man. Top of the world. Return of the man. Watch my flow. You know that I've been there. Here I go. So I'm back up in the days. Running things to take my swing. Letting all the people know that I'm back to rock the show. 'Cause what they didn't know was wrong. And all the things you done.
Oh, I am doing my best to hold it together right now.
And that's kind of just how it's going for Rangers fans. And I'm over here in Connecticut, surrounded by a slew of them who always like to talk shit about my team and how my team isn't enough and how they're going to win the cup this year. And I mean, I'm not personally surprised. This is your boy Rocky Prop, Rookie Bat Chef Rocky, and I've been making the money here on Degen Fantasy with co-host, head of the Legion, Double Down Dan. And it's been a run of runs as we head into the finals for the NBA and the NHL. Bets have been hitting. You see this? In the wintertime, it got cold. Dan bought a cat. I bought an AC. Because now in the summer, it's very hot. That's how you know when we're hitting parlays. We got new shit in the mix. Dan, how are you and your cat doing?
Oh, my God. We're fantastic. Look at this little fucker. He's just adorable as shit. Ready to do stuff. He's been keeping me up and waking me up dead ass early in the morning like a little baby.
Yep,
And he's a good cat.
Good cat's been placing those parlays, and they've just been smacking. It's been fantastic.
Oh, my God. I've been teaching him how to bet the last couple of weeks now. No, I'm
the
just kidding.
sharpest of sharps.
He's the sharpest cat ever. Yeah, Milk.
What up?
Little fucker. That little fucker is his name. Yes. All right. So I've been doing good. Got back. I've been in the process of moving. You know all this shit. There's all sorts of shit going on over here. So I've just been kind of out of it with coming all together with gambling right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like my bookie even hit me up. He's like, you didn't bet this week. What's going on? I'm like, get off my dick, all right? I don't want to pay you any more money, okay? I'm a little cold right now, okay?
He's like, I got bills I got to pay, Dan.
But buddy, what are you doing? You got to pay me some money here. I'm dying over here, but no.
He's like, Dan, I think you want to take the stars.
But yeah, so it's been kind of just light. And then Sunday, I got to have a nice day, finally watch a fucking race. And I hit a nice little winner. So I'm back on track here and feeling pretty good. College baseball in full swing right now. And God damn it, if I'm not a degenerative fucking piece of shit, I'm at work fucking throwing bets on college baseball like a psycho. Doing not too bad. I want to fucking say that to everybody here. Not too bad at the obscure sports. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. But yeah, so it's been a lovely couple weeks. And I'm finally getting back into the swing of throwing bets on bets on bets. So I think this is a perfect time. This is a perfect time for this pod. What is that, a heater?
Is it loud? Should I shut it off?
No, it's summer, dog.
Yeah, who puts a heater in a window, Dan? It's an air conditioner.
Oh, thank God. I was concerned for you. I'm like, what's wrong with this kid?
Yeah, I just really wanted to sweat even more than I am on these fucking Dallas Star parlays that fucking all lost because of Dallas. I had probably like 2 tickets on Dallas. One of them was, I didn't even show you I might have showed you the ticket. It was the last 5 UFC fights all hit.
Nice.
25 to win 600, and I'm like, this feels great. My cash out option was $69, so I'm like, I'll let it ride. And Dallas, unfortunately, lost. I did not think that Edmonton was going to win that one. Did you see any of this game? Because I need to show you something. Did you watch it?
I watched the whole game, yeah.
Okay. What was the news line, the storyline of the entire game? Do you know?
McDavid, right?
McDavid, yes, but the fucking shots on goal.
Oh, it was insane. It was
Fucking
insane.
insanity. And on top of the insanity, I also had a ticket that was Florida, Edmonton, and the Dallas Mavericks to win, and McDavid to be under on shots and Sagan to be over. So you're looking at the shot fucking score in the second period or beginning of the third period. Shots were 28-8 Dallas.
Yeah, it was intense.
The craziest shot total I've ever seen for a game.
Yeah.
McDavid stays under. Tyler Sagan had needed 2.5. They get like 37 shots on goal, and he just missed about half a shot. Whatever the case may be. Nah, you're good. Hey, listen, you were on the right side of it. Don't feel bad. I was just kind of tailing into Dallas because I'm a hater and a Sidney Crosby fan, and I don't want McDavid to get a ring. Fucking 10 shots. The last 2 were from outside the fucking neutral zone. They were in the neutral zone when they came on net.
Listen, he's coming, buddy. He's coming for that cup. And I don't know if I take anything seriously that I say right now because I've been so goddamn wrong when it comes to the last round of the playoffs. Hey, you know how we do things here. We always admit when we're fucking wrong and way off. The last round of each fucking sport, way off. Like, off as fuck. Now we're sitting here, and this is exactly what we said the NHL does not want. A Florida Edmonton fucking final.
I think
this is the worst possibility for them.
I don't think they wanted Florida Dallas. I think that might have been a little bit worse for them. It's funny because but it's because Edmonton's
small
a bigger
market though.
Edmonton's a small market,
NHL
but it's the best player in the league in the finals. It's also kind of like what's going on with Luka. It's funny though because I play hockey with a dude who works for the NHL, and I was texting him in our group chat, and I was like, let me ask you, I'm like, you guys probably, because he's in the finance market as well, I'm like, you guys probably would have preferred an Edmonton-New York final, correct? He's like,
that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have brought in the most money. It's funny, though, he sent a text in the group chat at what 2 teams would have actually brought in the most money. And I think, let me check.
The Buffalo Sabres, yeah, you're right. I know.
You know, Dan, honestly, if you couldn't be more on point. Honestly, I'm going to have you place all my parlays. But he said no. The biggest final ever would be the highest possible right now would be Toronto versus Vegas.
What?
And then he said, but when Chicago comes back, it would be Toronto versus Chicago, which I don't know how it would work because, Toronto's in the East.
Yeah,
Michigan.
An original 6. No, an original 6 fucking game, right?
Original 6.
That would be an original 6 fucking series. I'd imagine if Toronto played fucking Edmonton or like Vancouver, that would be insane. Would it not be insane?
Yes, it would absolutely be insane.
I feel like that would be crazy. But maybe you do need the biggest market in the NHL. Is fucking Vegas? Is that what we're talking about? In America? It's fucking Vegas?
Vegas is a huge market, but the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup, I already know when it was. It was 1993, and it was the Montreal Canadiens. But before that, I'm not even sure. I'm trying to look. It was probably back when Edmonton was getting a bunch of cups. There has not been a Stanley Cup winning team from Canada on the other side of the border since 1993. This is fucking massive for the entire country. It doesn't matter if you're a Leafs fan, a Canadiens fan, does not matter.
Okay, because that was going to be my next question. So even though like the rivalry in Canada, hockey's the biggest sport in Canada. We can both agree with that.
I agree.
Even though they don't fuck with each other, like this is like they want the cup to come home. Like at this point, they just want a Canadian team to win it.
Because it's come to a point where like it's just kind of a bunch of Americans busting stones, just really being like, yeah, this is your game, and you haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1993. And even this one would be a good matchup. I just don't think in the States, like, and in New York specifically, like, you got the Knicks, you got the Giants.
Hockey's the fourth. Like, hockey's
small. Yankees,
the Rangers. Even then, like, I would say football. Basketball is a close fucking second, then baseball, then fucking hockey.
I think it's becoming football, basketball, baseball, but for the longest time it's been baseball, football, basketball, hockey.
Yeah, you know what? I would almost even put I would put the Knicks in front of I would put the Knicks because the Knicks, when they're popping, that city's hot. Like that fucking city is on fire.
It's because they're not used to it. The Yankees went, especially like Jeter era, 09 era, like it would give the best franchise name in all of sports other than the Los Angeles Lakers. Like that's what they were all over. The Rangers just they've never had they had Wayne Gretzky and they had Mark Messier, but they never drafted an absolute McDavid, Crosby, Ovechkin fucking stud. And exactly, Kel says no one cares about the Nets, even when they had Vince Carter and fucking Jason Kidd.
They should have stayed in New Jersey.
No, they absolutely should have. But with that and McDavid, one of the highlights of the nights I was going around was this one. As much as I guess you can say I'm a hater of Connor McDavid because I'm a Sidney Crosby fan. I'm sick of the comparisons. I don't like it. I am definitely. I don't want to be, but also it'll be good for the league. I was talking to Pops about it. He's like, I don't want to go and not see this kid get a ring. He's that good. And this play is just fucking disgusting. And the thing about McDavid is just the mock speed as he does that with. That was slow motion. It was a beautiful toe drag through a great defenseman. It was
so fucking smooth on. I didn't even realize what the fuck I just watched. Mm-hmm. I don't know how he moves laterally on ice that quickly, but man, was that a fucking goal. And it just broken down. I mean, it's a work of art, but I know there are players that I'll never get behind. As much as I respect Tom Brady, he can go fuck himself. Honestly, mm-hmm. I genuinely wish he never played football. But I think you would probably say the same thing about McDavid. But goddamn, is he good, dude? He's just so fucking good. I know, and take it easy, Kelsey. But fucking, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Crosby's great and all that shit. And everybody was on his dick. It's McDavid's turn. He's got to get a cup here. I think Florida's probably the best matchup for them. Oddly enough, I thought Skinner looked like a world-class goalie this round. I don't know what the fuck or where he came from, but as much shit as we were talking about him earlier, he's had a lot of great fucking games, especially in these fucking playoffs. So I think they could do it. They really, really kind of put it on the Stars. I think we can both agree with that. The last two games, it was all right, we're done. McDavid's I'm putting this I'm going. Because he looked a little off in the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask you a question. How many years do you think Connor McDavid's played in the NHL?
I see. You can't, because I know, because you told me. I think it's this is year 9.
How'd you know?
Because I think either I heard it on SportsCenter or some shit like that, or you
I think you heard it on SportsCenter.
I think you said it in a past pod. You're this is his 9th season. This is his best. I don't know. I think I might have heard it on SportsCenter. But yeah, nine doesn't even seem like 9 seasons.
It feels what it feels like to me is it feels like Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like to me.
Yeah, because Luka's what, year 7?
Luka's year 6. You said year 6.
Oh, you're still.
How old is Connor McDavid? 27 years old. So what we were talking about is I think Sid got his first cup at 21, 22.
Yeah.
What we were talking about, the reason why I bring up age is because you were talking about Luka and you were this is where they start rolling into it. Yep. Year 6 is where these players start really start coming into their own and really start starting an era and starting their winning ways. And McDavid being 27 years old, he's in his prime. Yeah. The prime, you saw it with prime LeBron in Miami, prime Sid. We lost a lot of prime Sid due to injuries. We saw it a lot with basically every player in every sport at a ripe age of 26, 27, 28, 29 is in their prime. And that's why also, we'll get to Justin Jefferson later, he just signed the biggest contract in the NFL for anything but a quarterback, and he's 24 years of age. Fucking incredible. So it's different sports, different positions, different types of games. But yeah, shout out to Justin Jefferson on that one. Even though
let me hold $1, baby. Let me
place a little parlay.
Give me some parlay money.
But we've been all over on Edmonton. What do you think of Florida beating the Rangers and how it all kind of fell together?
Okay, so I think we started off the Eastern Conference Finals okay, Florida looks like the better team here. I think they should win, and then it quickly switched because the Rangers rattle off to at least 2 in a row. I think
2 in a row, game 3 and game 4.
Yeah, and they looked like they were poised to take a little fucking run there. Rempe came in. He was giving them some juice. Florida remembered who they were, finally got back on the road. I think that fucking helped them because they are god-awful at home, especially during these playoffs. They got on the road, got a big win at MSG, and came back home and closed it out. I thought they looked really good. They rounded out decently, but like the hot team, I think the hot team coming in is Edmonton. I think that it's clear that Edmonton is the hotter team coming in.
I think they beat the better team.
True.
Yeah. I think I'm one of the, like, this is self-proclaimed, I think I'm one of the best hockey sports betting content creators out there. And I will say that I was on the wrong side of every single game in this series. Every time Florida won, I was on New York. Every time New York won, I was on Florida. It was a rough Eastern Conference final.
Yeah.
And these are the 2 dirtiest teams in the NHL, oddly enough, because kind of like how they had Marty McSorley around Wayne Gretzky, they got a tough team around Connor McDavid, and it is going to be a bruising battle of a series.
Chippy. It's going to be chippy, baby. I can't fucking wait, dude.
Kachuk is going to be a fucking animal. But here's the storyline, though. Okay. Mm-hmm. The storyline is this. Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers and Canada as a country have no cups in the last fucking however fucking years since 1993. McDavid does not have a cup. Edmonton does not have a cup and Canada in general does not have a cup since 93. On the flip side of it, do you know who was in the Stanley Cup final last year?
The Florida Panthers and somebody else.
Who the fuck won the cup last year? Colorado.
There you go.
In Colorado.
And Florida was an 8 seed, if I'm correct.
Florida was an 8 seed. So with that being said, looking at Florida, they do it kind of reminds me of the 08-09 Penguins. They're the first team to go back to the Stanley Cup final after a loss since the Pens in 07-08.
And what'd the Pens do when they went back?
So they played Detroit. And they were so young. I think Sid was fucking 20 or 19. And they lost in 6 games. And then they went back and played the exact same team in the final. And they won in 7 games. And the funny thing is, last year they touched in hockey. They're very superstitious. They have the President's Trophy to get out of the Eastern Conference. And either teams will touch it or not touch it because they're very superstitious.
Yeah.
Florida touched it last year and lost. And they did not touch it this year, so they're hoping.
Either did Edmonton. Nobody wanted it to be anywhere near that fucking cup, dude.
You know, it's funny. The only team to do that and win every time they went was the Penguins. They kind of when they went back-to-back in 16, 17, everyone started touching it. I think Tampa did it as well. But they haven't touched it and lost. In 08, the Penguins didn't touch it, and they lost. And in 09, they touched it, and they won. Superstition shit. If you want a sports bet on that, you can't because they both didn't touch it. Correlating to that, it's going to be a fucking series and a half. I think. Who do you think has more pressure?
Edmonton. I think easily Edmonton. This is, to be honest, this is because Canada needs a cup so badly. Yeah. They have the hopes in Florida. Nobody outside of where does Florida play in Miami? Where do they play?
They might play in Miami. I don't know where Florida plays. Is it in Amalie Arena where the Heat play?
Sunrise, Florida.
Yeah, where the fuck is that?
Where is Sunrise?
Amarant Bank Arena. It's just west of Fort Lauderdale and just north of Miami. So I know.
Okay, so close to Miami. Okay, good. So what I would say is, I don't think anyone that's not of a certain color in fucking the surrounding areas of the Florida Panthers, like Sunrise, I don't think anyone but the white people of Sunrise give a fuck. So I think Florida's playing with house money. They should be there. I think they feel like they should be there. And I think they feel like they should win too. I don't think they're coming in fucking scared. They have every I think all the capabilities in the world. They have one of the best goaltenders. If he's hot, he's fucking just fantastic. Kachuk is a fucking motherfucker. They have a tough-ass team. What I do know is they're not going to make this easy for Edmonton. I don't think this is going to be a fucking 5-game series. I do think Edmonton wins because I think the NHL is maybe going to push it a certain way. And I think you saw that with some of the calls in the last couple games in the Edmonton series, little skewed one certain way. But yeah, so I think Edmonton's going to win, but yeah, I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
No, I got you. You're good. One thing I will say that's going to be a massive factor in this series is, so we talked about Florida not being good at home, correct?
Yep.
I want you to look at this number right here, because this is going to be a massive discrepancy in this series correlating to look at how fucking far apart these two different towns are. So let me make this full screen so I can see it. Yeah, this is 7 hours and 50 minutes by air in the plane from Fort Lauderdale to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. That is going to be
that's a flight
fucking commute. I don't know if the NHL is going to kind of try to like correlate that to like, hey, extra days in between series, Stanley Cup final. There's only 2 teams left. We can do that. Or if they're going to rush the one night after another thing. Because like, okay, so say who has home ice? Is it?
It would be Florida, I believe.
All right,
I think
so
Edmonton was a 3, a 2. I don't know. I think they were a 2 or a 3, and Florida was a 1. I'm almost positive Florida was a 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised Edmonton's already in Florida. Which, if I was the coaching staff and the organization of the
when is game
1? Stanley Cup final.
We got a little bit of a break.
Game 1 is June 8th.
So we have 5 days. Oh, they'll be fine. I'm not worried.
Okay, so they'll be fine. Okay, so wait. All right, hold on.
Yeah, but Florida might not, dude. Florida might have a tough time.
So this is what's fucked. Okay, so they're probably going to be in Florida in a day. They will be in Florida. So game 1 is Saturday, June 8th in Florida. Game 2 is June 10th. So there's 2 days between each game. And then 3 days between them going to Edmonton. So they'll have a day. They'll probably leave the night of June 10th, win or lose. Get there the 11th, have another day, and then play the 13th. So the NHL is handling this in the correct, because what a fucking discrepancy. I don't know if it's going to affect anybody, but what a distance to travel. And this is the longest matchup between 2 professional sports teams in North America for a finals ever.
Wow.
Which is definitely incredible. Like
that's fucking incredible, dude.
Yeah, it's wild. It's something that, trust me, if I was playing, I would not want to be a part of.
I'm curious to know the scheduling of the final and if we can use that gap as like a possible maybe a little edge. Maybe we get an edge off that gap. Like, I don't know how many days they have to travel in between.
It's looking like 2 to 3 days of travel in between.
So it's 2 to 3 days in between each game.
Yeah.
So rest shouldn't be an issue. I don't think rest is an issue. I do think that Edmonton's probably going to try to fucking like shoot them down on the way in or fucking lose their bags or something. There's going to be some shiesty shit going on in Edmonton, dude.
Canada's Air Force is like,
take them out.
That's what we play for. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be tough. But, I mean, so we're wrapping to this. Who's winning the series then?
I think Edmonton probably. I don't think it's going to be an easy series. I could see it going either way. I just think, like, out of 10, I see Edmonton winning 6 out of 10. That's just my opinion.
I think, personally, this is Sergei Bobrovsky's first chance to win a cup. I think Florida's been here before, as where Edmonton hasn't. And even though the NHL is going to want to push Connor McDavid, and it's just the game's going to play how they play, it's very tight. I'm going just off face value and goaltending, even though he's looked really good. Florida. I think Florida can wear him down, and I've just seen him do it to a lot of good teams. They beat Boston, they beat New York. who they beat in round one. I can't remember.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Dallas is also a very good team. Vancouver is also a very good team.
Yeah.
How many times has the West won in the last couple of years? It was Colorado,
It's Colorado.
Vegas,
Yep.
Washington,
Yep.
Tampa, and then a couple.
Tampa
others.
won
Yeah.
3 in a row.
Tampa did not go win 3 in a row. They went to 3 in a row actually, and they lost to I forget which team it was. They have a back-to-back technically, but it's one of those like fuck around, like you got lucky back-to-backs because their second of their back-to-back was in the bubble.
We still count the bubble. I don't get why
No,
people
I
give
count
that
it.
shit.
No, I count it,
the bubble.
And they were also over the cap by like $54 million. Like fucking insanity.
How'd they do that?
Same thing Vegas was doing this year. They were in a loophole. So if you have players on long-term IR, you need to fill those roles. You can make free agency signings and trade acquisitions. You're good. They trade for a fuck ton of good players. And then when those players come back from LTIR just in time for the playoffs, you can roster them and have them play. Stayed a team that was over the cap by at least, I'm not going to say $54 million, probably like $17 to $20 million.
Wow. Hey,
Fucking
listen, kudos to them. Obviously, not everybody was fucking playing the game the right way. I'll tell you that. I wish the fucking Sabres would do some fucking shiesty shit.
If the Sabres healthy scratched their 2 best players, I don't think they'd get a playoff spot. But if they were able to healthy scratch their 2 highest paid players and pull people in, get a playoff spot, and get them back in time for the playoffs, a little bit of a loophole. All right,
We can't win with our 2 best players and everyone else's best players on the ice.
All right, real quick before we go to the next one, quiz. What's your team's goalie's name?
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Good job, Dan. Segueing into real quick, before we get into this, what's going to be more of an entertaining final?
You know, I think I'm looking forward to the NHL one a little bit more. I fucking hated the last round of basketball. I was so wrong on fucking everything, and maybe I'm just jaded as fuck. But I do not care about either one of these teams, and I genuinely hate both of them. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna fucking I'll be cheering for Dallas, but fuck do I hate Dallas. So I don't know.
I agree. All right, just a question for you. I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. One is gonna be about what happens if Dallas wins, and the other one is gonna be about what happens to Boston if Boston loses. Which one would you rather go for first?
Give me Boston loses.
What does Boston do if they lose?
I think they trade Jaylen Brown. I think they probably trade Jaylen Brown and try to upgrade that position.
Who are you going to get better than Jaylen Brown, though?
I don't know. But I think somebody's going to be available. I don't know who it's going to be just yet. This is a prime Paul George team target right here.
It's like the same thing, though. Even though Paul George is better than Jaylen Brown.
Not. I don't think it is because Paul George in this playoffs, I think we can both agree that he looked like fucking a superstar.
No, he did because he is one. He is a superstar.
But I can't say that for every other player. Ant Edwards looked like a fucking
How old is Paul George?
Rookie. He's probably like 33.
34.
There you go. He's got 2-3 good years left. He'll be fine. But what I'm saying is I think Boston looks to blow it up after this. If they can't get there with this team, I think you have to make a move because I just don't think these 2 guys together are going to fucking do it. And this is like the year that they should. If you get up on the Mavs, you can beat them. Like if you can get up in the series 2-0, I just don't think they're going to fucking come back from it. They get down on themselves. Luka gets in his fucking head. Like you can get up on these guys and win. I just don't know if they're going to do it. But if they lose, they're fucked. I think they should blow it up and figure it out a different way.
Let me ask you a question. So say if you're the GM of the Celtics and you're starting to realize that, hey, maybe there's not a market out there for Jaylen Brown, but there is one for Jason Tatum. Do you think you can build a package, or is there anybody out there in the sphere of the NBA that you think would be viable enough to bring back from Jason Tatum?
Giannis, maybe.
That's actually not bad because
Yeah, I know
Giannis-
it's not bad.
there's news of Giannis possibly wanting to get out.
That was the big talk. And Boston's a big fucking market, one of the biggest basketball markets in the country. It goes Lakers, Celtics for me. And then Knicks is a close third there.
Yep.
But Boston's a huge basketball market. They would fucking love Giannis. If I'm San Antonio, I'm putting together whatever the fuck I can to get him in fucking San Antonio with Wemby, though. Let those two freaks play the fucking game together. Oh, my God, that'd be great. But, yeah, Giannis wants out. I think Tatum for Giannis, you'd probably have to put like 2 or 3 fucking first-round picks in with Tatum to get Giannis, maybe 2. Yeah. But I really think that would be an awesome even trade. Tatum goes to fucking Milwaukee. You still got a good star there. You can still build around Tatum, but you got to split these two up. If they don't do it this time, I just don't think they're going to do it. They've already been here, and we talked about this last. Like when I was pitching Jason Statham as a superstar to you, he's been to the finals like 4 or 5 times in his career. Like you got to fucking put up or shut up at this point. And if you can't get it done here, then this is relatively the same team they keep trying to do it with. Obviously, you got to have something change.
I think so. First off, do you know anything about Jaylen Brown's like background, about how intelligent this man is?
Something about like he went to Berkeley, right?
He went to Berkeley. People were scared to draft him because of how intelligent he was. They felt like basketball wasn't stimulating enough. He went to MIT as well. He's worked with NASA. He's just incredibly intelligent. That's just me talking about because I thought it was interesting. I think personally, maybe moving Jaylen Brown for Trae Young would be a great option. And the reason why I think that Jaylen Brown for Trae Young would be a good option is because we've looked at this dual guard kind of lead that we talked about in a previous episode. And I think it's a point guard-esque situation that would suit the Celtics. I like Drew Holiday. We've lost like the desire for a facilitator that has talent that could score. I think someone at the point guard position, like a Trae Young and maybe another piece, could kind of suffice for Jaylen Brown to the point where it gives them like a different dynamic. Having 2 guards that can basically play the same position is kind of odd because they're going to maintain the same side of the floor. They both can shoot. They both can dunk. You need a different, like look at Luka and Kyrie. You need a different kind of game. You can't have 2 of the same players that play the same game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So by saying that Jaylen Brown is like really fucking smart, do you think that the Celtics would be better off keeping him or Tatum?
Tatum.
If they lose.
Tatum.
What could you get for Jaylen Brown?
Trae Young.
Do you want Trae Young?
Yeah.
Why?
Trae Young and a piece. Because it's the point of like having a different type of threat. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are not the exact same talent level. They're kind of close. You kind of need a different type of player. They're maintaining the same kind of spots on the floor. They both play the same kind of fashion. They both can go to the rim, or they both can shoot, or they can both hit a floater. Difference is you got Trae Young fucking 3 feet off the 3-point line. There's a threat. You got to come up and guard him. He can dribble out of a fucking situation, find a lane. Now everyone's like, oh my God, Trae Young might shoot it. Tatum gets the ball, jab step, and the ball movement creates more of a threat. Like, look at the Heat. When the Heat just have 3-point shooters, okay, ball movement's fantastic, but they're either going to shoot or they're going to pass. When you have Jaylen Brown, he can either do like it's a fucked up script to be able to play the same type of defense on every player on the court. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, we just got to force so-and-so to this spot. Oh, I can do that to Tatum and Brown. If you have someone
and
that's
they both can't dribble.
Yeah, for example, so you keep both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum outside the 3-point line, like heavily. They're not a threat. You can dribble out the clock up there if you want, or jack one up, shoot it. You have Trae Young out there. You're like, okay, we got to come up, change the dynamic. I got to guard him differently. The speed, it's a different aspect that makes your defensive scheme 1,000 times more difficult because like. Okay, now I'm on Trae. I got to play this completely different. Oh my God, now I'm on Tatum. When you're switching between Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it's kind of like the same kind of defensive scheme. That like it's hard, it's easier to adjust for. Would you rather fucking fight a bear Would you rather fight two bears or a bear and a jaguar? Like, at least you know what to do if there's two bears. If there's a bear and a jaguar, you have no idea how to, like, oh, fuck, this is two different animals. It's a weird scenario, but you get my point?
I'd rather not fight either one of them, you psycho.
I understand. I understand, but, like, a bear, two bears, what are you more likely to survive against, at least? Two bears or a bear and a fucking lion?
I don't know. Probably neither. Both gonna rip you from asshole to face in like 4 seconds. I get what you mean. That fucking that is
that's
a
good
analogy.
No, it's a great analogy because
Hear out my
analogy.
Oh my God.
They say if you see a bear in the woods, lay down or get big and get loud. If you have two, okay, so then you're with the bear and the lion. You get big and loud with the bear, and he's like, "All right, cool." And then you look at the lion, and he's like, "I like big and loud."
That's I like
my
when
point.
You yell, bitch.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, no, you're right. They do need a facilitator. I think they do need a different option, like you said. Like Kyrie and Luka are kind of. I feel like they're pretty similar, but they just have different playing styles. They can both get to whatever shot they want.
Similar
to
how though? Is that's how just you say because similar?
Because it's just like peak offensive player.
You're like they're similar because they're good.
Shut the fuck up. I think that either one of them could get to the rack whenever they want. I think either one of them could step back and shoot a J anytime they fucking want. They can get to wherever they want on the floor. The difference is the style in which they play.
The difference is the style, but it's not just the style, it's the size. You put Drew Holiday on Kyrie Irving, that's one thing. Then putting Drew Holiday on Luka Doncic because he's taller, you got to play a different way. If Kyrie and Luka were the same height and they were both Kyrie's height, Drew could be like, it doesn't matter which person I'm guarding. I'm going to do the same thing to each of them.
Okay, hold on. Do you think that's a great point? Do you fucking think that the Celtics should be favored by 6.5 points in game one?
Fucking shot. Not a fucking shot.
Why are they favored by 6.5 points?
Because the fucking listen, either they know something we don't know, or the fucking sports books are just like fucking sucking down their cock. Like they really need to stop.
If they have stayed at 6.5 and been at 6.5 the whole time, that means people are betting on the Celtics.
I don't know why. Like, are they that good? Like, I've watched Celtics basketball. I've watched Celtics basketball, and I've also watched fucking I've also watched the fucking Dallas Mavericks, and when I watch the Celtics, I'm like, Celtics won. Almost lost to the Pacers. Whatever the case may be, I watch the Mavericks, and I'm watching them fucking, like, deeply destroy his size everything. I'm watching them pummel.
I fucking hope not, Kelsey. Jesus
Dallas
Christ. We both
Do you get my point?
We both watched Dallas beat the ever-loving shit
out of a team that beat the ever-loving shit out of the Denver Nuggets.
I know, and it was impressive to say the least.
And
but
it was the same Nuggets team that beat the Celtics. The Celtics couldn't beat. Kelsey at the airport. Appreciate you. Safe travels.
Okay, but here's my one concern here, okay? We were both really high on the Timmies coming into this series.
Yeah.
Because they beat the most impressive team, okay?
Yeah.
I just don't want to come into this series too high on the Mavs because I'm high on the fucking Mavs right now.
So.
But I don't trust it. I don't fucking trust it. The way I look at it is this. Boston either comes out. I don't know if Boston's good. Can you agree with me on that? I don't know if Boston is good.
Yes.
But what if they are good? Like, what if they are really fucking good? We're going to find out game one. We're going to find out game one because, in my opinion, the Mavericks at plus 220 on the money line in game one is a fucking travesty. I don't think anyone should be plus 220 in this series. And I damn sure don't think the stronger team, in my opinion, with the better coach, should be plus 220. I know it's a home game.
You take Dallas and one prop that you think will hit. I'll give you one that probably will hit is Derek Lively has been smacking his point rebounds and assists every game. He's not going to be too prioritized if still takes the ball. That's a plus 500 ticket for 2 legs on an incredible basketball team. best player in the league, debatably, in Luka Doncic. One of the best point guards to be drafted in fucking the last 15 years. On the same team with depth.
Kyrie's a top
talent.
10 of all time point guard.
I agree. In correlation to that, because it's my favorite word in this fucking show,
correlation.
Playing team that every fucking year just comes back with the same two guards, Al Horford, and now they have Drew Holiday. Fantastic. If you are like Jason Kidd is so underrated as a coach, especially in comparison to what's the Celtics coach? What's the Celtics coach?
Mazzulla. Sorry, Joe
Mazzulla. Against Joe Mazzulla. You've watched teams. You've literally watched teams play against a Joe Mazzulla-led team either fall to the talent of the Celtics or destroy them or play very well against them coaching-wise, especially watching the Pacers be in some of these games leads me to believe that one, not only is like the Boston should not be favored by this much of a margin. On top of it all, the Celtics, I'm pretty sure if I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, I'm pretty sure have lost every game one of every fucking series, except for the Miami series.
I don't think you're. I don't.
They
didn't
lose game one of the Pacers. They literally almost did.
They almost did, but they didn't.
They did not lose game one to the Heat. They lost game one to who'd they play in between? Heat. Somebody, Pacers.
Cleveland. They played Cleveland.
I think they lost game one to Cleveland. I just don't.
Yeah, they did lose game one against Cleveland, but they haven't. They've been perennially. They have been a little spotty
in game one. That's my point. Thank you.
You're right. You're
stemming back to the last couple seasons too. I'm pretty sure Miami's able to steal game one conveniently in a couple series. I'm pretty sure they've lost a couple game ones. I just don't think they can do it. But let me ask you another question. So they went and they played the Golden State Warriors and they lost, right? That was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you see the correlation in the two finals? Florida goes to the Stanley Cup final last year and loses to Nathan McKinnon in the Western Conference. And then the Celtics go to the NBA finals and they lose, to Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, if I'm correct. And then on the flip side, you have Connor McDavid on the Edmonton Oilers. This is an East-West thing. Best player in the league, needing a ring, and Luka Doncic. Best player in the league, needing a ring. The correlation between both of these are absolutely insane.
You could say that the juxtaposition of these leagues is entirely like when you look at them, it's like the same situation.
It is literally the same situation.
That is fucking nuts. What a brilliant little fucking thing good for you, buddy. That was good.
Honestly, it's just been sitting
give
in
him
front of my face.
Give him a little credit here, babe.
Thank you.
That was some good. It's the same thing.
So then this is where the edge is. Not necessarily. And also Kelsey says, let me see in the chat, pre-flight drinks are the best. Rocky is my sports bet lock, and Key Double Down Dan is my reality check to keep me guilt-free. Beautiful way to look at it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That correlation is this, all right? When you're looking at these two series in the finals, are you banking on the team that's hungry from losing a final, or are you banking on a team that has the best player in the league that needs a ring?
Okay, so I think you are actually leaning towards the team that was in the final the previous year. And I'm leaning what?
Real quick, before you go ahead, this is my thing, okay? I agree. But what I will say is, where is rings more important in which sport?
The NBA, right?
The NBA. So I'm thinking NBA, Luka needs a ring. Jason Tatum fucking can go suck one. And I think it's Luka's time. I don't know if it's McDavid's time. But I'm leaning more towards Florida because their style of game is motivated. I feel like Boston is just kind of like, oh, I hope we do it this year. I hope we did it.
I don't think that anyone in Boston feels like I hope we do it this year.
I think everybody on the Boston lineups team is like, we always fail. I hope we do it. Oh, we're the favorites. Oh no, we got to do it.
I don't think that's at all true, and I'm just going to cut in here because I don't think that's true at all. Let me ask you a question first before I fucking move into my motherfucking statement that I'm about to make. What's the Celtics record against the Mavericks this year?
Fuck, how many games do they play?
They played 2.
Is it 2-0 Celtics?
Yeah. The Celtics won both games by first game by 9 points, second game by 28. And the fucking Mavs did not shoot well in either one of those
Were
games.
they healthy?
Yes.
Was that with Kristaps?
I think that's with Kristaps.
Is
Kristaps is playing. He's playing. He's back. They didn't even have to bring him back in the Pacers series, buddy. He's back. He's in it. He's in there. Here's what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
Stop correlating. No more correlating in this.
Last correlation is Kristaps was on the Mavs and Kyrie was on the Celtics.
Okay. I expect this to be a Celtics win, unfortunately. I will be cheering for the Mavs, but I do think the Celtics win. I think if we go, I'm not going to say cohesive because it has nothing to do with cohesiveness. If we look at the NHL, I think it's McDavid's turn. It's his time. If they want to keep him in Edmonton, he's got to win one. Okay? He has to win one or he's fucking gone. He's leaving and joining the highest bidding team he could possibly get. And that's it. He's going to do the Eichel and he's going to force his way out. He wants a title, dude. So I think for the NHL to keep the market in Edmonton, they owe Edmonton one. After they let Gretzky go to LA, Edmonton is owed one. I think they're going to let Edmonton win this one. I think that's what's going to happen.
This is kind of like what I'm hearing everywhere. Everyone's taking Celtics in 6.
That's not going to happen.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
Celtics in 4.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel this series changes if Dallas wins game 1?
I don't think it changes. I think it's
in Boston, right?
Yes, I think it changes perceptions. But I think Dallas is live as fuck to win game 1. I think Dallas is live as fuck. But I do think the Celtics, I think it might be a 7. I could also see it being a 5, which is weird, I know, but I know, but I think it comes out Celtics win. Even though I want Dallas to win.
Are they that good?
The Celtics are really good. This is okay, and don't get fucked. I'll switch the pick right now. Don't even start that. All right, I'm switching it. Dallas, no, I'm just kidding. I do think we have to recognize that there is a reason that this nucleus has been contenders for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time the Mavs have really been contenders since Luke has been there. And I think that I just think that it's eventually going to be too much.
Is this year 1 or year 2 with Kyrie? This is year 2, right?
Year 2, but
he was hurt last year.
Yeah, it was kind of weird last year too. Yeah.
I'm going personally. Oh God, you know what the funny thing is I can feel the bias but I put one more thing, and then we'll go to Justin Jefferson. I want to go Florida and Dallas in my heart. My head is saying Edmonton and Dallas. I don't think the Celtics are going to win personally. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, though. But after watching that game last night, does that give you hope that they can shoot 10 shots on goal and still win a game? Or does that scare you? Because I don't know if you can expect Stuart Skinner to fucking play on top of his head like that every game.
I actually don't think that he played an insanely good game. I thought that the shots that he was facing were pretty. I didn't think they were pretty dangerous shots. It didn't feel like. It didn't feel like the Stars had too many direct. Yeah, the quality of shot was horrible. They were throwing it from the point most of the time, and it was getting deflected and moved. But
crashing for rebounds.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't really and they weren't even really getting that many rebounds on top of it.
Yeah, and they weren't getting in front of him. Like, everything was in his chest.
Right. And I also thought that Edmonton's defense was like really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
Which I guess I didn't pick up on that before, but I thought that their defensive scheme was pretty fucking solid against a pretty offensive heavy team, like that can score kind of at will at times. I mean, they showed it against Colorado, like they were scoring 4 and 5 goals a night. I don't know, man. I think Edmonton's a way better team than I give them credit for usually.
Yeah, it's the speed. Hockey's such a speed game that the speed that they navigate the zone with.
They're also nasty though too. Like, it's not like they're just fast and finesse. Like, they pack a little punch, too.
Kyrie retiring to make documentaries about flat Earth next year. All right, Kelsey, enjoy your ride. Take it easy, Kelsey. I'm probably going to go ahead and lock in Dallas, Florida. That's probably where I'm going to put my money. And
do you think you think it's a quick series, or you think it goes all 7? Like, you think it's a long series? We were so wrong last round.
I think I don't know. I think it might go 7 because I'm thinking if Florida or Edmonton's up to win for Game 6, I think there's just no stopping like either one of the willpower. I think it's got to go 7. It's an immovable object meeting an unstoppable force. Like, and the object is Florida and the force is Edmonton. And I just kind of think that like it correlates to how well they guard Luka and Kyrie. So I'm going to go Mavs because I don't think the Celtics have proven to me anything throughout these last couple series, and that's kind of right in the hot hand. And then I'm going Florida just because, one, I don't like Connor McDavid and I don't want him to win, but 2, I think Florida has the better goaltender. But transitioning into the big news on campus. For one, Mr. Justin Jefferson. And I was listening to this today. He signed a $140 million deal for 4 years. That is $110 million guaranteed for a 24-year-old wide receiver. And this is $800. It includes an $88.743 million due at signing, which is fucking incredible.
Jesus. What a fucking deal. Good Lord. Dude, he's getting paid like a quarterback.
Yeah, Jefferson says this is final. The time has finally come. The deal I've been waiting for since I was a little kid. He's been doubted his whole career. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, fantastic. He's getting paid more than AJ Brown, which is $84 million. Amon-Ra St. Brown at $77 million, and Jalen Waddle at $76 million. And also, this is big news in correlation to CeeDee Lamb is also up for an extension, and I think he's going to be somewhere in the ballpark. So this is evening out to like close to $35 million a year. CeeDee Lamb is probably going to be right behind that at 33, 34. And you were speaking on how this is going to set the precedent moving forward for how to pay. And it's fucked up too, because you look at the discrepancy between wide receivers and why everyone's so scared to pay a running back. Like what do you think about that?
I think it is a wide receiver game right now, so I do understand why you give one of the best wide receivers in the league this much money. I think he makes a quarterback like it's just now JJ McCarthy's going to come in and he's going to have 2 really good targets on the outside.
Which he will need.
He's gonna need a lot of playmaking wide receivers because he's going to be god awful. So they're going to need to throw the ball as short as they possibly can, and you need players that can fucking catch and run after the catch. This is well warranted. I think we both agree, top 3 in the league. He's come in. He's been absolutely incredible. And at the same token, like, you can't fault Justin Jefferson for not – I mean, you got to take this fucking money, dude. $90 million up front that's a hell of a tax bill, so I'm sorry for your fucking pockets. I don't know how the taxes are.
You probably walk away with like 67 or so, 70.
Still, like, what a fucking payday. Throw DD a little bit of cash, baby. But this is well warranted, dude. You cannot let this guy go. Like, he's a generational talent at wideout.
24 years
I wouldn't pay a running back more than $4. So
Injury-wise, that's why is the narrative.
It doesn't matter. Like, you can pick up a 5th-round running back in each draft every year that will be fine. That can run for fucking 800 yards and is just as effective as a top-paid running back.
I agree, but then you also see people come in like fucking Tank Bigsby, who like is supposed to be the next bell cow back for the Jaguars, and he just did not look good his freshman year coming into the NFL. Looking to use him more on the offense with Travis Etienne, and I think that I don't know. It's a weird spot because you also have teams like I've ranted about this in tandem to my being a Giants fan, that Saquon Barkley couldn't get a contract, but because in the NFL now you will pay people at the quarterback position, and that's what we do. You spend all that fucking money on Daniel Jones, and he's just not a top 10, top 15, top 20, top 25 quarterback, and he's making an insane amount of money. He has a $183 million contract. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In correlation to no, but $183 million compared to Justin Jefferson's contract at $140 million. Who is the better player, Dan?
Who?
Daniel Jones and fucking Justin Jefferson.
Daniel Jones, obviously.
Oh, apparently, because that's what the money says. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you're paying him $183 million because he's a quarterback. Might as well.
Yeah.
When you could have fucking allocated $40 million of Daniel Jones's contract and given it to Saquon.
Right. We both agree that was the stupidest fucking deal for a quarterback. Listen,
but just because he's a quarterback is the point where they made it. Oh, that's what they're doing now. You talked about it with now that Jefferson's getting this. Now other receivers got to get it. If they're good, do you think fucking? Let me think of it. Give me a good wide receiver that's not like name brand like Justin Jefferson.
A good wide receiver that's not name brand.
That's not like top 5, top 10.
Mike Evans.
Do you think Mike Evans deserves anywhere near this kind of money?
No, not at all.
He's going to go into negotiations at some point and be like, well, this is where we're going. It's going to sound like you. It's a wide receiver league. Look at Jay Jettas. I've put up this kind of numbers at some point in my career. Like, I should at least be getting 100, 110. Like, but just because he's a wide receiver, they're going to move it up a notch. I don't know. I'm still salty about Saquon. But either way, running back is my favorite position in football. Do you have a favorite position? Is your favorite position wide receiver?
No, I really like quarterback.
Quarterback guy?
Yeah.
I'm a running back guy. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I love Breece Hall. I love Bijan Robinson. I love Saquon Barkley. I like Christian McCaffrey. I enjoy watching them I love watching people get juked out of their pants. One of my favorite things in the world.
Right.
And I like it more than a nice catch. Because a nice catch is fantastic and cool, and then usually the play's over or they run for a touchdown. I like seeing a fucking from the goal line 110-yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah, I get it. I understand it completely. I would say the most interesting thing to me, the highest paid running back in the league, how much do you think he makes? It's Christian McCaffrey. How much do you think he makes this season?
So Jefferson's getting $35 million a year. His contract's $140. I'd say McCaffrey's got to be somewhere near $84 million over his contract, so maybe 17 to 20 mil a year.
17.2. So really solid. And how much guaranteed money do you think Christian McCaffrey, possibly the most valuable player in the NFL, at overall, how much guaranteed money do you think he has?
Out of the $84 million?
Yeah.
67.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
That's final answer.
Yeah.
36.3. So I don't know, man. I love Justin Jefferson. I don't think that there's a player more dynamic than Christian McCaffrey. We saw that last year. Yeah. I think over 70% of fantasy owners that drafted Christian McCaffrey last year were in the finals for their league for a reason. Yeah. He was great last year, really effective. I mean, still they didn't win, but I just think wow, let's look at I have it just pulled up right here. The top 4 highest paid running backs per year. McCaffrey makes $17 million. He's number 1. Jonathan Taylor's number 2 at 14. Alvin Kamara is number 3 at 12.7.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley's number 4 at 12.6. Those are the top 4 running backs. Top 6 wide receivers. JJ, $35 million.
Jamar Chase.
AJ Brown, $32 million. Amon-Ra St. Brown, $30 million. Jalen Waddle just signed a huge extension, $28.3 million. Cooper Kupp, $26.7 million. Stephon Diggs, the third option in Houston, $26.2 million. Like, that is crazy. Stephon third option Diggs is getting 10. Stephon third option in Houston Diggs is getting $9 million more than Christian McCaffrey a season.
That's fucking insane. But the other thing is too, like, to your point, and I'll use this to coincide into this next topic. The top RBs in the league, everyone's kind of talking about for this upcoming fantasy season because there's such wide receiver depth throughout the NFL.
Yeah.
Especially as these rooms with rookies come in and there's a lot more talent. And you talk about like how injury prone the running back position is and how easy it is for people to fall off. Like, what the fuck's his name? In Chicago, no, not Chicago, in Cleveland, running back broke his leg recently. Nick Chubb. Terrible injury, fucking horrific. Dude was one of the top running backs in the league. The running back room for picks going from rounds 1, 2, and 3. The projection is number 1, obviously, is going to be the first pick, and probably majority of the league is going to be Christian McCaffrey. Who do you think the next 3 running backs would be draft wise?
Top 4. I mean, you got to put Gibbs in there. You got to put Kyron Williams like close to the top. That's my boy this season. Mm-hmm. I am fucking rocking with Kyron this year. I am fucking going to take Kyron at a way higher spot than anyone needs to take Kyron. Okay. I'm going to take Kyron way higher than anyone else should because I think he's going to be due for a monster season. I also think James Cook has got to be top 10. Like, you got to throw James Cook in there. I think he's primed for a fucking great year, dude. James Cook is primed for a fucking great year. Is he not? Come on.
Time out. Okay, so say you have the 4th pick in the draft. Christian McCaffrey goes. I know you are. He's just chilling, too. He likes the football talk. All right, so someone takes Christian McCaffrey 1. You got the 4th pick, right? Then Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill, whatever goes. If you were forced to take a running back, who are you taking at the 4th pick in the first round?
McCaffrey, I would take.
No, McCaffrey went first.
Oh, if I had to take a running back?
Had to take a running back, then take a running back.
I'd take Kyron. I think he's going to be incredible this year.
How do you feel? The reason why people aren't as high on Kyron is because they drafted another running back, correct?
I don't give a fuck.
So they're going to split the backfield.
Kyron is not getting okay. All right. Kyron's getting split carries. The guy that was getting almost 30 carries a game towards the end of last season is going to get split fucking carries. Are you kidding me? It's not like they were giving him 30 carries and he was turning in. You're upsetting my cat. Look how upset he is right now.
It might be the blue headphones. I think that's what's getting them going.
I'm so sorry.
The consensus for what everyone's saying.
To you. Chef Rocky would never say
big Kyron fan over there in the litter box.
Dude, he's named Kyron Williams Jr. This is his son. I love Kyron. This is my Kyron. Look at how me and Kyron right here.
I don't think I've seen him more.
Photoshop Kyron Williams' face right here over this little kitties. I'm gonna put it down.
I was about to take a screenshot. Oh.
Get it quick, because he's pissed off.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm not even a cat guy, and that's a cute ass cat.
That's the cutest cat you've ever seen.
It's one of the cutest cats.
But wait, go back to the point. Here's what I'm going to say. First, I'm going to ask you this question next too, because you're a piece of shit for even saying it like this. If I'm forced to take a fucking running back in the first round and McCaffrey's already gone, I don't give a fuck about Saquon Barkley. Fuck you, motherfucker. Good luck running behind that fucking matchstick line. LA just invested so much money into that line, and they have 2 solid wide receivers now. So how you going to stop it, dude? How are you going to stop it?
I like it.
Hold on, let me go. Matt Stafford can't throw the ball 40 times a game. He can't. They're going to have to run the fucking ball, and they have defense on top of it. This Rams team, I'm high on this year, and everyone should be, because we're riding Kyron props all motherfucking season.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so
Just say.
I'll tail the Kyron props because every time you gave out a Kyron, we were just bringing him and Jahmyr Gibbs. We were like, yep, thank you. What the consensus is that everyone's saying it's Christian McCaffrey, and then the next best running back is Breece Hall, and then after that, it's Bijan Robinson.
Ew. Did anyone watch Bijan Robinson last year?
Listen, and I feel the same way because I owned Bijan Robinson, and I was so happy. I'm like, I got Stephon Diggs and Bijan Robinson
Did
back to back.
anyone watch him play football last year?
He was incredible when he actually could, when they used him. And then he had a headache, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to tell anyone." Bijan's got a headache.
All I know is if I throw a 3-yard out to Tyreek Hill, he's taking it he's taking it home, baby. He's getting me yards. You throw a 3-yard route to fucking Bijan, and he's getting tackled 3 yards behind the fucking line.
I think you haven't watched a lot of Bijan.
I think Bijan is a bust, and we are going to look at him as a bust. Bijan Robinson is a bust.
He's a monster.
Hold on. Just like Kyle Pitts, Atlanta Falcons do not know how to fucking draft. They suck dick, and that's it. The only time they know how to draft is when there's a fucking dog-fighting quarterback on the fucking draft board or a motherfucking wide receiver from Alabama, and that's it.
He was one of the best running backs in their system. Okay,
one of the best running backs that nobody gave a fuck about last year. Let me just say that.
I know.
How many guys were like, "Oh, did you see Bijan fucking shrug for 2 yards? Oh man, it was fucking magical."
I'm not even. Listen, we'll get into this.
Dropped that 3-yard out yesterday.
You know what?
Fucking wonderful game, Bijan. Really fucking good magical play, Bijan. Hey, did you see Bijan take that screen pass for 4.5 yards? What a fucking magical play that was. Who the fuck Bijan's number 0 on my fucking list. He ain't coming anywhere near my team. He's a bust, and so is Kyle Pitts. There you go. And Michael Penix is on your bench, too. You got the worst fucking trash-ass team in the league. It's going to be great.
You fucking piece of shit. Hold on.
Baker Mayfield for fucking mayor of Atlanta, baby.
I hope everybody else is hearing what you're saying, and they're like, you know what? I'm not going to take Bijan, and I will just have as much Bijan as I want. No, this is what you want to do. Is this what you want to do? This is what we're going to do. Okay, hold on.
Oh, let's watch this 10-yard out that he drops.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
You typed in best, and it's 2 minutes long.
I didn't type in best. Hold on.
You typed in best. This is labeled best Bijan Robinson plays. Oh, sweet. Great job. 6 yards, Bijan. Solid play. Fucking awesome. Wow, Rocky. They replay this, and this video is 2 minutes and 55 seconds long.
Hold on.
That's how fucking great he was this year.
Yep. Excuse me. Take it back.
Scoobity Bebop, another 6 yards. What a great job. What's that, 12 yards this game? Big game for him.
Oh, man.
Big fucking game.
Let's go here. Number 5. That's a fucking wide receiver play, Dan.
Okay, he was open as fuck. Give me a run. Come on, Bijan. Show me some stuff. Wow, that's good stuff right there. That's 16 yards right there.
That was good beautiful. Shit. Look at this.
It was a great run.
Look at this. Excuse me.
I want to see how many more runs he had like this year.
Arthur Smith didn't use them.
No. Don't even start with me. Don't even fucking start with me right now.
New coach, Kirk Cousins.
Let's see this 3-yard out.
Get in.
Wow.
That's
fantastic.
Points on the board.
You know what? You could draft a fucking wide receiver that'll do the same shit and run for the fucking same amount of yards Bijan did. Listen, I don't get the fucking hype on Bijan. Great, you fucking juke. That's your job. Fantastic, okay? I've seen 2 plays that are decent. Great. He can run pretty fast. Fantastic. Awesome.
Number 1 now. I'm invested.
Another 3-yard out.
Oh, did you see the catch though, Dan? I don't think you saw the catch. Watch this play. You think Kyron's catching this ball? Watch
Yeah,
this play.
I do.
Watch the replay.
I do think
Watch the
Tyrod's
replay.
catching
Look,
the
look,
ball.
look, right here.
Look at that catch.
Off his
Oh,
back.
great. All right, another 9 yards. Good job, Bijan. That's your longest fucking gain of the year.
All right.
Okay, let's go back
Fair
to it. Let me talk to it. Actually, we're back up here. Actually, let's take a behind the scenes because you had Bijan on your team last year, and I remember about 67 calls like, "What the fuck is Bijan doing? Fucking 2 yards? Are you fucking kidding me?" Yeah. Same fucking guy, right? Are you the same guy? Or am I mistaken? Oh, okay. Just making sure. You take Bijan in the first round this year, you're a fucking clown.
Okay.
You know that.
Correlating to that's Bijan's prospective third. I really badly want Breece Hall, even though Breece Hall did tear his ACL previously in his career.
I don't know about Breece this year.
But so that's my point of the whole thing was like we're talking about how much wide receivers get paid. Like if you don't get one of the top 5 running backs, you're going to be scrambling all year. Yeah. Holy shit, that was funny. I'm throwing that on TikTok. Well, I felt really good about Bijan up until this stream. So if he's RB1, I'm going to be really upset. But fuck, like I'm just thinking. But listen, like the reason why I was frustrated with Bijan last year is because he didn't play a couple games. And usually, how you know when a player, especially fantasy coach, fantasy manager wise, like when they're not going to play, the team is supposed to be like, hey, Saquon's not going to play. He's got an illness, or even close. He'll be a game 9 decision. Then 25 minutes before the game, they're like, yeah, he's sick. They let Bijan go into the game, get one snap. Didn't touch the ball, then they're like, yeah, Bijan's got a fucking migraine. In my lineup for fucking 0 points. Him and Cooper Kupp fucked me. Do I want Cooper Kupp back this year? Kind of. Am I going to hunt out Bijan? No. But if he's the only good
right,
would you take Saquon? Would you take Saquon or Bijan?
I'd take Saquon.
I'd want Saquon because I'm a Giants fan, and that's where I'd lean.
No, but I'd take Saquon because he's the better player. I don't know what we're talking about right now.
Who's in the better situation?
Saquon. What are you talking about?
With the tush push. I hear what you're saying. All right. Where does Jahmyr Gibbs fall because he's in a split backfield?
He's probably 10, 11. Because it's Montgomery and him. You can't really until they should be giving, we can both agree, they should be giving Gibbs the majority of the carries, but for some reason they give it to Montgomery. So I'm hopeful that they because I think Gibbs is way more dynamic than Montgomery is. I still think Montgomery's a great fucking back to have, but
coaches love Montgomery type players though.
Yeah, he's a good back. He's a solid back. There's nothing wrong with him, but there's nothing really that special about him.
And then lastly, like, what do you think about Joe Mixon? Because hear me out, because Joe Mixon isn't that electric, but he's going to be in such a great offense. They might steal touchdowns from him, but also he had a touchdown a game, just like I say, Pacheco, every game. And to be on a better team, like Burrow was hurt, Chase was hurt, like he can really fuck it up in Houston.
I'm down on them right now. I'm down on him right now for the time being.
You're hating so hard.
No. I'm down on him right now. Okay. I'm not down on all of them. I think this is going to be listen, if CJ does half as good as last year, they're going to be fucking fantastic to watch on offense. Like, there's no doubts about it. Like, yeah, I'll fuck with Diggs and shit like that because I think he's a pussy. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, Diggs is a great wide receiver. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Like, if he's engaged and he doesn't hate the quarterback, like, we're good. Like, we're straight. Like, all fucking good. Everything's good. He's going to be a great fucking player. But what gives me pause about CJ is just what you said. There's so many options in that offense, and CJ can part of his game is running too on top of it. So I don't know how many touchdowns Mixon gets this year. I do agree with you. It's going to be a dynamic offense, but somebody's going to have to take a backseat production wise. And I don't know who it's going to be, but I guarantee you Diggs ain't going to be fucking happy if it's him. And Tank Dell and Nico Collins are dynamic wide receivers in their own right. It's going to be a heavy pass offense, and you have a scrambling quarterback. I think the running back's going to have to take the back seat.
The last thing I'll say, and then I feel like we'll start wrapping it up here, is the one thing I will say is every time there's been this much noise and this much hype around a team after offseason moves, what usually happens? I'm going to see if you know the answer. before, like,
No, you go ahead.
usually, in my opinion, one thing I'm worried about is like every time there's like, oh my God, they're going to be electric. What a pickup. It's going to be fantastic. They're going to be unstoppable. The quarterback gets hurt. And then it's like, "Ooh."
If that
Aaron
happens, Houston's
Rodgers.
in a lot of trouble.
Aaron Rodgers. Trying to think who else. Joe Burrow this past season with the whole calf thing. Like, there's a lot of hype on this, and I mean, he has to stay healthy because a lot of people are going to be heavily invested in him, sports betting wise, heavily invested in him, fantasy wise. And if I have Stephon Diggs, or if I have Tank Dell or Nico Collins, and CJ gets hurt, I'm gonna fucking tweak. And I don't even. Would you draft Diggs? Last question of the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Diggs is the fucking Diggs is a quarterback's best friend.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a possession wide receiver who's got skill after he catches the ball. He is the complete package minus the fucking head freak that he is. Like, he just fucking, like, if he could get out of his own way, Diggs is a great fucking player. Like, yeah, I would absolutely draft him. I'm not going to draft him high because, again, there's so many options in that offense. I think the one player you got to focus on is CJ. I think you got to focus on drafting him. Like, that's the guy that I want, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think what I'm going to try to do is I think a lot of people are going to be super high on CJ. And if he goes early, I think it's going to leave an opportunity to either get one of Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson with all the hype. Or I think Joe Burrow can have a comeback here this year. So I'm going to be trying to hunt those QBs like round 3, round 4. Whatever the case may be, I think we've had a great show today, covered a lot of topics, energetic conversation. And, yeah, guys, this has been Degen Fantasy. We are live Mondays, even though it is Monday. Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. We are coming up to the end of the NHL and the NBA. So make sure you guys get in the Discord if you want to place bets over the intermission period of baseball and NASCAR. And then correlating into that, we will be getting revving and rolling for not only fantasy football, but heavily instituting ourselves in the NFL season for sports betting. We made so much fucking money. And we started the show probably, week 6, 7 of the NFL season last year?
Yeah, I think so. Around
week 6 or week 7, and just cashed the fuck out in a fantastic way. Really got my ball rolling and my bags rolling in sports betting in general. And, a lot of fan base, a lot of viewership in fantasy football as well. So we're going to be diving into both those as well. So this has been Degen Fantasy. I'm Rocky Prop, Rookie Bet, Chef Rocky. I'm going Florida and Dallas to win the championship. Dan is going
Edmonton and Boston.
Edmonton and Boston, like the bandwagon he is. And Edmonton and Boston. So
hey,
we
we're
will
sponsored
be back.
by W. You didn't even give me my W read. Jesus Christ.
Because I'm just like, there's a lot of like heroin and cocaine.
No, I just wanted to tell people I got some W the other day and I drank it normally. Still good. Still good. Still gives you that little pep. It's not as good as the nostril inhalation, but it's still good.
You know what I actually did with my W? I popped open my coffee maker, poured some of the fucking lemon lime right on the top, and actually topped it off with some coffee. And I put it in and nearly had a stroke. But let me tell you, it got me through my workout and through my day. So go to w.gg and use promo code DGenBets so they can send over some viewership and also send you a beautiful supply of powdered energy drinks that you can use for whatever you want to use it for.
And you could put it wherever you want to put it.
I like sprinkling it on my toothpaste personally, on my soap when I shower, on my face wash.
I've learned its melting point and started boiling it and just putting it in an eye drop. And just every time I need a little bit of juice, I just fucking right in the eyeball. And it's so good. Oh, it's good when it burns. You know what I mean, guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. So use the promo code while you can before they take it away from us. This has been Degen Fantasy. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you on Thursday. Later, guys.
Baby,